Steak and veggies go there, and we immediately start with our chicken broth. This is a regular coffee maker, and this is going to change the way that you make your steak. We've got all of the chicken broth right in here, and the last step that's going to really add a very cool element to it is we get some spaghetti noodles like this, and these get broken up and put right here into this spot. That's going to be our nice garnish, a little side dish of noodles, and we are good to go. We've got that all full. We can turn this on, and our steak is going to be ready in less time than it takes to make a cup of coffee. So one more time, you can see in here, check this out. We've got our veggies and our steak. All of that is going to cook to a perfect medium. Just you wait right here. So we've got the steak in here. Now, if you do this at home for yourself, you can hear it's already brewing right now, which is great. So we just did chicken broth because we want a nice flavoring to it. And you can see, look, it's already pouring down right now. This is going to heat up our chicken broth, and that hot chicken broth is going to cook our steak right there and our vegetables. Not only that, it's also going to cook the noodles on the inside. So what we're going to do is just watch this steak right here. What I did is I took a T-bone, a nice piece of meat like this. I cut out, this is the New York strip part, and I put it right into the coffee maker. And now it is cooking. So here we go. And and like I said, less time than a cup of coffee. We're going to take this steak out. We'll plate it. We'll cut it open, and you will see you are going to be making steak this way tonight. So again, we just bought a regular old coffee machine. I can even open this up and let you see on the inside. Check this out. On the inside, all of that is coming into the noodles right there beautifully. That chicken broth and it's fogging up. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's fogging up right there and looks amazing. So we are going to keep an eye on this because you can see that red meat right there with those veggies. I'm going to move it around a little bit so we'll get that all of that fogginess to go. But that is how hot it is and how hot our coffee maker is making this steak. So really beautiful. If you're just tuning in, we've got just a regular old coffee machine. This does not ruin the coffee machine, actually. What you do is you put a steak inside there, and inside here we've poured a whole bunch of chicken broth right there instead of the regular water, and it's actually doing amazing things. We've got noodles here in the top where usually the coffee filter goes. All of this is going to make our amazing meal. We've got asparagus and broccoli, and all of this is being cooked not only by the hot liquid, but remember, there's a hot plate underneath here that is heating up that steak from below. So if you're just tuning in, we threw a steak right here into our coffee maker. So right here at the very bottom, and what's so wonderful about this is I can take this off right here and you can see, we'll put that back under in a second. All of that hot chicken broth is coming and cooking our steak right now. Listen, it is almost done. That steak is sizzling, our chicken broth is sizzling. As our special garnish, I got a little broccoli on top of there and some asparagus. So we are moving. Yes, this is going to change the way you guys make steak. Imagine this coffee pot boiling hot, burning that steak on the inside, but not burning it, actually cooking it perfectly to a wonderful medium. So any second now, it'll be done. Right now, you can see that it's well over halfway done. Almost all of our chicken broth is in there now. We just need to wait just for that to fill up. There's only about 8 cups in there, and we are going to be ready to go. All right, looks like it's done. You ready to see some steak?
I'm ready to see it.
All right.
Yeah, looks good.
So it is all done. We're gonna cut that open right now. Perfect. So let me take a peek in here. Yes. So we've got up in the top, we've got some noodles up here that are going to be a nice little side dish for us. And I'll turn this to the side so you can see what we have in here. See, it's almost down to the bottom now. We filled it up with chicken broth. It's getting hot and cooking our steak right now perfectly. This is very exciting because this is the way that you are going to be making steak from now on. I know there's a lot of crazy stuff going on the internet, and you never know what to trust, but just you wait and see. We took just a nice raw piece of steak here. I took a T-bone. I cut out that New York strip part of that T-bone right there, popped it in, and we're going to have steak in less time than it takes to make a cup of coffee. So it's good to see a lot of hearts and likes coming in. Some people are asking why. That's a great question, why, especially because we've got the grill right there. But you know what? The gas was out on the grill, and rather than trying to fix that up, we just brought the coffee machine out here so that we could take a good amount of time just hanging out here on the deck. It's beautiful fall weather here. So we are almost done with our steak. Let's bring this thing off right now and we'll cut it open. Look at this. So if you're just tuning in, we've got raw steak in there right now. My favorite part though is the vegetables on top. So what's great about this, you do not have to flip the steak at all. The steak is going to be done. I mean, a lot of times people are so nervous. They don't know when to flip the steak on the grill. They don't want to overcook the steak. With this, it takes out all of that worry, all of that mess, and you get to do everything right here. Coffee machine does everything for you. All right, looks like we are almost gone with all of our chicken broth. Let me feel it. Yep, very, very hot. That is really good. As soon as that chicken broth is at, look at how close it is to the 8. As soon as it's at the 8, we pull out that steak. It is done.
It smells amazing.
It does smell good, doesn't it? It's very, very cool. So let's pull this thing out, and I think it's done. This is looking good. So again, this is something you can do. We just took some chicken broth, but you can put anything in this, any flavor that you want your steak to be. I've seen people do it with whiskey. I've seen people do it with Coca-Cola. What's so nice about this recipe is how versatile it is, because you can put anything you want into a coffee machine. It's going to heat it up, bring it down right here into the pot, where it's going to safely heat it, not only from below, but from the liquid that's coming above. So the liquid we chose is chicken broth. It's going to give a nice flavor to our steak, but wait until you see how it cooks this thing. I'm looking again. Oh, beautiful. This thing is almost done. We're gonna pop it open right now. Here we go. Ready? Let's cut it open. Here we go. It sounds like it is.
It's done.
Yep. Sounds like it's done.
Put it on this plate. Put it on the plate.
So we've got the plate right here. We're going to get everything ready. Here's one last thing that you get to do as we're doing this. So what's nice is you can take some garlic salt like this. You can put that in the top, because that liquid is coming out and going through that garlic salt. Same thing with Lawry's, which is my favorite. I get a little bit of Lawry's in there, and I put that in the top. And what's nice is that top part, that filter part, is going to take all of that salt, all of that, the garlic salt right there. It's going to take it down into that liquid. It's going to flavor and infuse our steak beautifully. Now, what I do here with this sort of steak is I get just a pinch of regular salt in there, and we are good to open this thing up. So wonderful. Look at all of this chicken broth right here, and you can see our meat right there at the bottom being cooked.
Take it out. Take it out.
I'm going to take it out right now.
They want to see it. They want to see it.
I want to see it.
We got to show it right now. Okay, so let me take a look.
I'm excited to try it.
Okay, this is perfect. This is amazing. I love this. Okay, so we've got the last bit of chicken broth coming through, cooking our steak. That's perfect, and it's done. So I don't know if you can see through here right now. Yes. What are people saying that I want to? Oh yeah. You don't want to. So Maxine is saying there would be hell to pay if someone put steak in your coffee maker. Well, Maxine, you don't need to worry about a thing, because it's not going to ruin our coffee maker at all. In fact, just like any dishes that we use, the raw beef, we get to put that in. It's going to cook it. We'll wash this thing out. And to be honest, I love coffee with my steak. We might put a cup of coffee in here as soon as we're done with this. All right. So now it looks like the liquid is just about done. I'm going to take it off for a second. Looks like we still got a final few drops, and we're going to take this thing out. So this is amazing, because in here we've got a raw piece of steak. So it's already in there. I don't know if you can see that right there. I'm going to try and move it around a little bit. There, look at that. Yes. So there you can see our steak on the inside. We threw a steak in. This is cooking our steak and our vegetables right now. You guys have to see when we cut this thing open, it is cooked perfectly. So I love it. Very, very excited. Let's open it up. Let me take a look. It's finishing up the last of the chicken broth. We filled it up like a regular cup of coffee, like a regular pot of coffee. Look, it's just about done. Here we go. We've got our tongs, and we are going to reach in and get this thing out. You ready for this? Here we go. Let's get this right here. I've got the plate ready. We're going to season up our plate a little bit. Wonderful. You ready for this?
Oh, it looks great.
All right, excellent. I'm
looks
going
great.
to turn, we don't need to turn our coffee machine off because it's just a hot plate, and we're going to use that for our soup later on. Oh, we still got a little bit more in there. Still got a little bit more. Let that keep coming in. Let that cook that steak. We're going to pull it off here in just 1 second. Here we go. Hear that? That is the sound of an amazing American piece of beef cooking inside of a Mr. Coffee. This is going to radically change the way that you cook your steak. You're never going to need a gas grill or a George Foreman grill again. All you need is the coffee machine that you already have in your kitchen. So if you're just tuning in, we put in some chicken broth into the top. Look at how hot. Oh, man, it is steaming. This thing, look at that. See that? That is cooking our steak. We also put noodles in the coffee filter so that that chicken broth can cook those noodles, and we are going to have a full meal here just using a Mr. Coffee and some steak ingredients. I'm very excited to open this up. All right, should we cut it open? Let's cut it open right now. Here we go.
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to, we've got all of the chicken. Oh, wow, that is great. Look at that. See that? Look at that steam. This thing is cooking fast, so we better get this thing off right now so I can show you this steak. Here we go. I'm going to move this back just a little bit. I want to make sure you guys can still see it. Perfect. We've got the steak. I don't know about you. I like to season my plate. That's just because I want as much seasoning as possible on this steak. Perfect. Just like this. Wonderful. And I'm going to turn the coffee machine off like this.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. Look at that. You can see now, maybe you've heard about sous vide cooking steak, you know, where you cook steak in water. This is going to be even better because we have chicken broth here in a coffee maker, dripping down, heating up, and cooking our veggies and our steak all in one. Like I said, shorter than it takes to make a pot of coffee, you can have yourself a full meal right here in this Mr. Coffee machine. Let's take this guy out. Here we go. I'm going to pop this guy out right here. Yes! So there's no more dripping, so that means all of our chicken broth is in here. I'm going to leave this guy hot because we're going to continue to use this. And check this out. Inside our coffee maker, we have cooked a piece of steak. A very nice, big, juicy piece of steak like this one. And I'm going to pull it out right now so you guys can see exactly how it cooked that steak. Do people want to see it? Send in those comments. Send in those likes, those hearts, if you do want to see it. I'm going to bring out these veggies, and you can see, look at this. That is a great cooked piece of asparagus, piece of broccoli right there. I put in a whole bunch. That is done. And in the bottom of this, remember, in the very bottom of this, there's a beautiful steak. Let me see if I can move that around so you can see it in there. Oh, boy, I'm going to show you right now. So I put inside here a piece of meat inside the coffee maker, and we've cooked it using chicken broth going right through the coffee maker instead of water. Instead of any sort of cup of coffee, we've made ourselves some asparagus and some steak. I'm going to pull out the steak right now.
Ooh,
so I've
got
got,
it. You got it?
Yes.
You got it?
So look, I've got the steak right there. I'm going to pull it out. Now, the important thing, if you're going to do this, is I've got a steak. I want to see if I can show you underneath. Can you see it? You can kind of see it in there, but our chicken broth is cooking this. And here's why you never have to flip it, because look at this. Every coffee maker has a hot plate right here. So it's cooking the steak from the bottom, and then all of that hot chicken broth, which is what I use. But you can use anything. I've seen people use Coca-Cola. I've seen people use even just water if they want to be really healthy, because They don't want any of the extra calories, and it's cooking the steak on the inside from the hot plate and the liquid. Let's take it out right now. You ready?
Do you need more seasoning on the plate?
I don't need any more seasoning.
Okay.
I think we're good. We can't stop. We got to stop wasting time. We just got to pull
Okay.
this thing out, okay? So, great. Make sure that I have, let's get a paper towel. I want to get some of this excess liquid off of here. Hurry quick, paper towel. And then we are going to take this thing off so everybody can see exactly how this steak looks. Yes, perfect. We got a paper towel coming. We've got our veggies, which are, check this out. That's amazing. Guys, this is great. This is great. Try that right there. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Really great.
That's amazing.
I know it's amazing, okay?
It's so good.
So we've got that extra chicken broth. We're going to just clean that up right there. But our steak and all of this is leftover steak juice.
Oh, I'm so excited
that
to try
you get
it.
to use
I'm
to
so excited.
cook your steak, okay? Not only is this steak seeping now in a very hot chicken broth that's gone through the coffee maker, also, this is really nice flavoring for the steak after I plate it. So I'm going to plate up that steak right now. And check this out. I'll get to pour a little bit of this on top as seasoning for that steak, okay? Now, I don't know how you guys like your steak. Myself, I like my steaks a little bit more rare. Some people like their steaks well done. It all depends on how long you want to put it in the coffee machine and how long you want to leave it in there for. So I told you that we're going to do this really quick, so we've got this really quick. I'm going to take a look right now. Yes, this is looking,
look at that.
This is looking amazing. All right, I'm going to show you the steak right now because it is done. It is certainly done to my liking. And I want you to be able to see. Can you see the steak right there? I'm going to pull this up. Right there in the middle is our steak. I'm going to pull it out. But I want to first make sure that everybody's clear. What we did, this does not ruin your coffee machine. Sorry, I didn't mean to close it there. I'm going to pull it out right now. This does not ruin your coffee machine at all. We just put chicken broth through the back of the coffee machine. So I lifted this guy up. In the back of the coffee machine, I poured in chicken broth, and it goes through the filtered area and heats up our steak from the inside. And we've got this little hot plate right there that's been cooking it from the bottom. And now it is just seeping in these juices from our chicken broth, and we've got vegetables that were in there as well. The vegetables already cooked. Really, really amazing. Let's pull it out and see how we're doing. Here we go. Let's see what we got right here. I got to get a good grip on that steak. Which one do I want to? I don't want to be on the fatty side. Perfect, right there. Should be good. All right, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the way that you're going to be cooking steak from now on in a coffee maker, I'm going to cut this thing open so that you can see that you never need a sous vide again. You don't even need a grill. You don't need any of this stuff. We've cooked an amazing New York strip right here in this coffee maker, and I'm going to show you right now. Check this out. Ready? Drum roll, please. One.
I'm ready.
Two. Oh, also one important note here about this. We did do the noodles in the top, but because I wanted to do this fast for you, we'd have to cycle it through one more time to get the noodles in the top. We don't need to do that. Instead, I'm just going to show you the steak because really I'm not looking for more carbs. I'm just looking for this steak. So let me see if I can wrap this thing around. Look at there. You can see our steak inside. I'm going to cut it open for you right now. Here we go. One. Let me get this. Hang on. I'm going to get this right. Nope. I'll just move this back a little bit. Yeah. Perfect. Right there. Want to make sure people can see where it came from. So if you're just tuning in, we cooked a steak. I had a raw piece of meat like this. I cut out just the New York strip part. I put it here in this pot of coffee right before turning it on and pouring in. We did 5 cans of chicken broth right here. And we also put veggies on top of that steak. We're going to pull it out right now. That is amazing. What's nice is the flavoring it gives all those pieces. Here we go. Let's pull it out. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this. An
That looks
amazing
great.
cook.
That was
piece of
great.
steak, and let me pop this open for you.
Oh my god.
Look at that. A great medium rare right there.
Perfect.
An
It cooked it
amazing steak.
perfectly.
Perfectly seasoned. Look at how good that is. And you can take a little bit of this steak juice. You can pour it over top like
yes.
this.
Yep.
Really, really good.
that's
Steak
great.
off of the grill right